everyone.
Good
Today we
afternoon.
will discuss about the standard-based assessment. Learning objectives. At the end of this lesson, you are expected to formulate appropriate learning objectives and outcomes that are constructively aligned with national standards. Overview. Instructional goals and objectives are significant in both an instructional process and assessment process. These are a vital part of instructional design because they provide a roadmap for designing and delivering curriculum. These objectives are important in the assessment of student learning outcomes. So teachers should know how to write and classify objectives of the lesson because this will help them in selecting the teaching method and instructional materials. So please read everyone.
Constructive alignment is an outcome-based approach to teaching in which the learning outcomes that students are intended to achieve are defined before teaching takes place.
So, in constructive alignment, dapat yung outcome mo is naka-align sa learning objectives mo. Like for example, yung learning objectives ko is to formulate the learning outcomes to formulate appropriate learning objectives and outcomes that constructively align with national standard. So dapat at the end of this discussion, dapat is ma-identify ko na learning objectives. Teaching and assessment methods are then designed to best achieve those outcomes and to assess the standard at which they have been achieved. So, dito naman sa teaching and assessment methods is ginagawa ito upang magsilbing guide para makita if yung learners mo is may na-achieve ba siya at the end of the lesson. Outcomes-based teaching and learning is based on meeting set standard of teaching and learning to ensure standards meet the requirements for a degree. So, also the constructive alignment has a set of standards to ensure that students are equipped with knowledge they need and enable for them to perform well on their own field. Constructive alignment assessment is aligned to the intended learning outcomes and students construct knowledge through teaching and learning experiences. So in constructive alignment is the assessment or yung way of assessing mo sa mga estudyante mo is from discussion must be appropriate and in accordance to their intended learning outcomes or the objectives. Please read everyone.
In line with the implementation of the Enhanced Basic Education Act of Republic Act Number 10533, the Department of Education is adopting the enclosed policy guidance on classroom assessment for the K-12 basic program,
Below are some of the highlights of the classroom assessment of the new policy guidelines for K-12 basic education program,
which was implemented in
public, elementary, and secondary schools nationwide starting school year 2015-2016.
So the K-12 is providing a framework in evaluating the basic learning of the students implemented in the public, elementary, and secondary schools starting on 2015 to 2016. So, content standards identify and set the essential knowledge and understanding that should be learned. They cover a specific scope of sequential topics within each learning strand, domain, theme, or component. Content learners know. So, performance standards describe the abilities and skills that learners are expected to demonstrate in relation to the content, standards, and integration of 21st century skills. So, the integration of knowledge, understanding, and skills in expression, creation, innovation, and adding value to products, performance during independent work or in collaboration with others. So, performance standards is tinutukoy dito yung mga ability or skills ng mga bata na learners that expected to be equipped in order for them to be productive and innovative in the integration of 21st century. And there are two types of assessment. First is formative assessment. Provide feedback and information during the instructional process while learning is taking place and while learning is occurring. So, formative assessment is measuring the learnings of the learners before i-tackle na kanang topic. Formative assessment measures student progress, but it can also assess your own progress as a instructor. And there are types of formative assessment. First, please read everyone.
Observation during in-class activities.
Homework, exercises, review, exams, and class discussions. Lectures, journals that are viewed
periodically during the semester. Question and answer sessions, both formal, planned, and performed spontaneous. Conferences between the instructor and student at various points in the semester. In-class activities where students informally present their results. Student feedback collected by periodically.
So, there are the types of formative assessment. Second is summative assessment. Takes place after the learning has been completed and provides information and feedback that sum up the teaching and learning time. So, kung sa formative assessment is used to monitor the students' learning, dito naman sa summative assessment is measuring the overall learning of the students from a unit or at the end of the semester. And these are the example of summative assessment. First is the examination. And final examination, term papers, projects, portfolios, performance standard evaluation of the course, and instructors' self-evaluation. Conclusion. Standard-based assessment plays a crucial role in ensuring that the teaching and learning process is effectively aligned with specific learning objectives and competencies. By using constructive alignment, teacher can design their lessons, activities, and assessment to ensure that students achieve the intended outcomes. Summative assessment save distinct purposes in the classroom. Now, since we are done to our discussion, let's proceed to our assessment. Please give 1 sheet of paper.
Oh.
So, tamang yan eh.
Mas 5 sa nagiging for verse 2. Okay na po, ma'am.